comes a highwaywoman. She comes with music for your soul, and then moves along. She moves along.
If you're just joining us, this is Bridget London. You're listening to the Highwaywoman radio show. And finally, after a long time of wanting to have her on the show, I have my good friend, Miss Chelle Rose, as a guest on the program. And I'm real excited to have her. She has a fantastic album out. Tons of critical praise from it. And a lot of new folks have been turned on to her music that maybe hadn't been familiar with her since her first release. But she had an excellent release prior to this as well called Nantahala River. So we're going to talk to her about her latest record and find out what's going on with Chelle and get the story behind some of these songs. Hey, Chelle.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad to finally have you on the show. I've been wanting to have you on forever.
I know. It's great. We finally made the connection. It's a crazy, crazy world, but I've been looking forward to this, and we wanted to do it for a long time, so yay.
Yay. And, you know, I haven't even seen you since you made this record, and, well, I got a chance to, to tell you that I love the record, but wow. This is everything you know, I believe this would be everything you'd want it to be, this record.
You know, the first few sessions down there, I made it in Austin, and I was a little out of my comfort zone. I took off and went down there with my guitar and bag of songs and left all my boys here in Nashville, that I've always played with. And so I was a little out of my comfort zone, but I knew immediately that I was in good hands, and it sounded exactly what I'd been hearing in my head all this time, and I couldn't believe it, and it was overwhelming and just a really beautiful journey. And so, yeah, it is a very satisfying feeling to listen to something, and it's what you wanted it to be. I don't know if that happens very often. I hope I get to do it again, but if not, this one, I'm happy. It turned out pretty good, I'm proud of it.
Well, you should be. And tell me where the name Ghost of Browder Holler comes from. That's the name of the album, folks, Ghost of Browder Holler.
Yeah, I struggled with naming this album, which is odd. A lot of people go in sort of with a working title and kind of know, and I just wasn't sure because we recorded a lot of songs that I thought I would never put on a record. And then many that I thought would most definitely go on the record didn't make it. Sort of, shook it up a little bit. So I wasn't sure, but I settled on that because it's a line out of a song that a lot of people think of as the title track, but it's actually called Browder Holler Boy, and it was about my childhood sweetheart. He drowned tragically at the age of 25. A story there. I pulled that line and it kind of stuck. I wasn't sure about it because there's a lot of records out there called Ghost of, this and that. But I just went with it and it felt good. And so that's the story on that. It's about, just an experience that I had. Yeah.
Well, now we're going to have to play that one. I had a list of songs picked out, but now I'm like, you know what? Let's play that one. And it's got Ray Wiley Hubbard on it. Produced this record.
He produced it, and we recorded it at George Reef's studio down there, and sitting right in the middle of High Cotton, Rick Richards on the drums. Billy Cassis was my workhorse on guitars, and we had Brad Ross come in McLagan. Just, God, I was surrounded by some amazing musicians there, just a whole lot of talent, so they make me look good.
Well,
Wicked.
you have the voice in the songs, girl, and let's hear that. Let's play a Browder Holler Boy from Shelley Rose's brand new album, Ghost of Browder Holler, and we'll be right back with more with Shelley Rose.
My kisses would not do. Hold me in my dream, shake my bed, turn me upside down, blood rushes to my head. I feel your touch and I hear you laugh. Did you think that I'd forget you? How could I do that?
And that was Browder Holler Boy featuring Ray Wiley Hubbard from my wonderful special guest on the show this week, the lovely and talented Shelley Rose. We're talking about her latest record, and it's such an incredible body of work. In fact, I want to get to playing another track right away, and Rattlesnake in the Road. I remember when you put up a video for this a while back, and I was like, oh man, I love that song, like from the first get-go. And tell me a little bit about writing that, Shelley.
Well, it's kind of humorous to me because, you know, it's like you see a rattlesnake in the road and you write a song about it. I mean, you know, it's pretty funny. Hey, you know, write what you know, but it did start out that way. I was living out in Leapers Fork. I was taking my daughter into the city to school and passed a rattlesnake. He was just coiled up in the middle of Old Hillsboro Road. And I thought, my Lord, he must think he's, you know, sitting on he's laying on a rock, and it was warm on his belly, but he was about to get squashed, you know. It started with that, as simple as that may be. And I'm pretty sure by the end of the last verse there, you can tell that I'm maybe not necessarily talking about a reptile.
Right. We gotcha.
Yeah, a little metaphorically speaking there.
That's
so,
right.
You know, things twist and turn, but it's a fun song. Really fun to play live, you know. And my baby girl's favorite song is Rattlesnake.
Aw. All right,
Yeah.
let's play it. Here's Rattlesnake in the Road from Shelley Rose's new album, Ghost of Browder Holler.
Vibration of the wheel, so you can't scare him with your squeal. He can't hear, but he can feel. Playing possum, that's for sure. There ain't no way he feels secure. You better get on back to his den, 'cause I got a notion to do him in. Huh. Ooh, hey, way. Ooh, hey, way.
That's great. And we're back here with Shelley Rose on the Highwaywoman Radio Show. This is Bridget London. Really enjoying talking to my good friend Shelley. I haven't seen her in so long, but if you haven't never seen her live, you got to go out and see her perform. And she has an incredible arsenal of songs, just unbelievable as songwriter. And this record really has been well received, Shelley. You know, you've really opened a lot of doors with this album.
Thank you. Yeah, it has. It kind of shocked me and surprised me. A good surprise.
So
yeah.
You know, you took a long time between Nantahala River and this album, but I bet you got the bug again. You're going to be, you know, already writing stuff for the next one would be my guess.
Yeah, well, you know, the strange thing is that I got to get caught up because there's 12 years in between the records. I didn't plan it that way. I was set up to record and go in and, you know, had projects that I started and killed. A lot of it was my own fault. I would get scared for whatever reason of someone I was working with. Trust, you know, just something wouldn't feel right and I'd bail. You know, I've learned from all of this, but those years were not necessarily completely unproductive. I was living and writing. I'm a little backlogged with my songs, and some of them I feel like I need to put out there. So this next record is probably going to have a lot of the songs, you know, that were in the same bag that we pulled songs for the Ghost record. On the same note, I've been writing, and sometimes I wish that I could do other things I'm supposed to be doing that people want me to do, and then I'm sitting here rotting. I don't need more songs right now, but you take them when they come, because sometimes they don't for a while. I feel good about what I've got to pull from. I'm not sure what it'll end up being, because I've learned not to necessarily to feel like you go in and sometimes it just, you take off in a different direction. I kind of like that. That's how we made the Ghost record. We'd sit down each morning, pull one out of the bag, sit down with our guitars and just work out an arrangement and then go hit it. I love that. I learned a lot from that. Yeah, I'm ready to be back in the studio. I thought I had a certain plan, and I was ready to put that in motion. And then while I was down in Austin, I changed my mind, and I'm going to do something different. So now I've got to reshuffle the deck, start making those phone calls, and get my act together, and hopefully have a new record out first quarter 2014, which seems a long way away, but
it's not music world,
takes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do.
It takes a long time to make it all happen and then get everything, lined up. So, but that's what I hope to see happen, and I hope it's not 12 years.
No, I don't think it will be. I think you got the bug back here so strong, and the reception's been so strong, the demand will. Come on, Chelle, get another record out. And now, you're from East Tennessee, and tell me about Caney Fork, Tennessee, the song.
Well, Caney Fork, I went and stayed in this little cabin over on Center Hill Lake. It was built in the 1800s up north, and they broke it down, numbered the logs, brought them down there to this beautiful cove on Center Hill Lake and put it back together. And I went there for a weekend to write. I hadn't written anything in a year. This was back around 2006, maybe 7. Just sat there with nothing. And I wrote Caney Fork as an exercise, if you will, to try to get myself writing. Never thought I would cut that song. It wasn't something I would have put on the record. Ray Wiley pulled that. He liked it. And I'm glad he did. I've come around to it. Some of the ways we lure love into our life, which is sometimes cooking, if you will. Tricks,
Right.
And so a lot of women, I think, relate to this song because we know that the ultimate gift to anyone we love is to feed them. And a lot of men love it because, well, what's not to love about being fed? So it worked, this song worked. It's fun.
I love it. I love it. Let's play it for everybody, shall we?
Midnight passes just like molasses. 2 bottles of wine, daddy right on time. You're sleeping like a baby when the morning comes.
We're back here on the Highwaywoman Radio Show. That was Caney Fork, Tennessee, by my wonderful guest, Miss Chelle Rose. We're talking about her album, Ghost of Broader Holler. Now, Chelle, tell me, have you got any shows coming up, or what's going on with you? Where can people find out all the latest? You're on all the social networks.
Let's see. Well, ChelleRose.com, which, my name is spelled weird. I'm kind of hard to find. It's CHELLE Rose.com. Everything is not updated right now. We just got back from South by. Aside from local things, here in Nashville, my next gig will be over at the Shed. I don't remember the date, but it's opening for Billy Joe Shaver, and wow, I think I can die if that happens.
Hell yeah.
I adore him, and so when that call came in, I just turned a cartwheel, and I felt about 10 years old. So I've cleared my schedule, though, this summer, which most people are on the road and working, but with my mom's schedule and my children, I have to take this opportunity this summer to pull these sessions together and get another record. in the queue. I can't be on the road and do that at the same time. A lot of people juggle those things pretty well. I found that I cannot. So I said I was going to say no to everything, but when the Billy Joe Shaver call came in, I said yes. So other than that, right now, I'm pretty clear. You know, who knows? I could change my mind and get out there some more this summer, but I'm going to try to stick to my guns and get this project, you know, going. So we'll see.
Well, and that's what's exciting about Billy Joe Shaver. Everybody knows that.
God, I just
love
him.
I start my show off, with a Billy Joe Shaver song every week.
Oh yeah,
that
he
would
makes
be a great
me
show.
happy.
Yeah, that'll be an awesome show, and looking forward to hearing more about that and your new record. And you're on Twitter and Facebook and all that good stuff.
I am. I'm out there. I'm not necessarily very good at all of it, but I jump in there every now and then and say something, either stupid or sometimes smart, or smart ass. I do that too. I'm best at that part. Smart ass is more my gig there, my bag. But it gets me in trouble, you know. People need a sense of humor.
They do, and you have such a unique approach to your writing. You have your own sound, Chelle. You know, who do you think was the biggest? I mean, because you can hear so many things all the way from Loretta to Steve Earle. I mean, who do you think impacted you the most musically with your writing, you know?
It's strange because I just had a conversation with someone about Steve Earle, and I expected to get that a lot with things over the past year, because that used to be what people tagged me with, sort of a girl Steve Earle thing. A part of that made me smile because I loved him so much. But, you know, you want to do your own thing, and so it's tricky. But I do relate to him. Hardcore. I look back on his, you know, the 80s, like around 86. There's footage from Austin City Limits when I watch him, and I totally connect with that. It's rock and roll. He wrote, you know, these rural songs and about characters and type of thing. So that definitely was big influence on me, more than I probably even talk about it in interviews over the past year. I found Bobby Gentry and Townes Van Zandt and a lot of my true hardcore songwriting heroes through Lucinda Williams and Steve Earle, David Olney. You know, Marshall Chapman's been huge inspiration and mentor to me. A lot of these people that I look to have ended up being friends and supportive of me at this point in my life, which is really a cool thing. Steve Earle, definitely, you know, he fired me up. It made me want to play like that. Writing probably a little more from Lucinda, like I first heard Pineola, you know, Sweet O World and her Red record that came before Sweet O World. Mm-hmm. Those were huge influences on me. Those made me want to be a songwriter. And she really did. She put that bug in me. I thought, wow, people making records like that in Nashville? So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. It's great to talk to you, and I'm just really glad to see all the things happening. And
thanks for having me.
But I just want to remind folks to go to Chelle Rose, CHELLE Rose.com, and Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. And the name of the album is Ghost Abroad or Holler.
First of all, I want to say that I think you're rocking this and doing a really cool thing, so thank you. I'm proud of you, too.
Thank you so much, Chelle. Let's go out with Shady Grove.
Thank you.
On Chelle Rose's new album, Ghost Abroad or Holler. I hope to talk to you soon.
I'm wrapped up tight in my granny mom's quilt. Worry about this house that my granddaddy built, 'cause Shady Grove gonna blow. Yeah, there ain't no place to go, yeah, Shady Grove gonna blow. Yeah, you better get yourself low. Ain't nothing to fear, we're in the presence of the Lord. Ride the wind
Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Bridget London, and this has been the Highwaywoman Radio Show.
Now there she goes, the highway woman, and she's brought music